Yo, what's up, guys? Hey, I know we've been on this topic before, but I wanted to kind of expand on it a little bit more. During recovery, we have to change a lot of different things. Two of the main things that we need to go ahead and change is who we surround ourselves with and the places that we go. But I wanted to talk about the places that we are in. Just give you guys a little bit of background. It was an incident probably when I was about 20 years old. I wasn't doing the right things. Ended up becoming detained for a reason by APD, and I had my truck impounded. They took it as evidence. Took a while for me to get my truck back, but when I got my truck back, there were stickers, and I hope you've never seen them. But if you have, they're the little evidence stickers that make sure that there's seals on the doors, on the windows, and the individuals that are doing the inspections for evidence, they have to initial it, they have to timestamp it for record keeping purposes. So I get my truck back and took off the seals for the doors, but I was still an active user, so I had to go ahead and just doing whatever I was gonna do. I left a few of the stickers on a few of my windows, and it probably was a couple weeks after getting my truck back that I was at my parents' house, and my dad comes out, and me and him are just talking about different things. I don't remember the subject by chance, but he looks at my truck and he's like, "Son, you need to take that sticker off." And I just looked at him. I'm like, "What sticker?" He's like, "Your evidence sticker, the one that's gonna remind you that your truck was on the impound." He had been giving me advice and encouraging me to leave the lifestyle that I was leading, and he had suggested take that off. He's like, "It's a constant reminder of what you just had to deal with," because I did have to get a lawyer and a lot of other good stuff that comes with interactions with law enforcement. Got me to thinking though, because in addition to making that small change on my truck so I didn't have the reminder, I started making changes inside of my home at that time, my apartment. In our recovery, what we must remember is that our brain has developed patterns, and that we have allowed these patterns to kind of become triggers at times. So part of recovery is eliminating every type of scenario that we have control over that would trigger us to use again. I say that because I started moving my furniture around in my apartment. I started parking in a different place at my apartment complex. Started taking different routes. But specifically, guys, what I want to ask you is the environment that you go into, your home, is that somewhere that you get triggered by? And if it is, what type of changes can you go ahead and make? Don't get me wrong, I know that individuals that are watching this can go from being completely homeless all the way over to individuals who have a very nice place to reside in. What I just want you to start thinking about is what are some small changes that you can make in your current environment that will start to get your brain to slightly think a little bit differently, where it's gonna have to work just a little bit more. And what I mean by that is that even in my current home right now, sometimes I gotta go ahead and either put up artwork or I gotta move the artwork so my brain doesn't get stuck in these patterns. I don't wanna say that are bad for me, but it just doesn't stay in those consistent patterns. So start moving the pictures that you have around. You don't have pictures around, and start moving your furniture around. Start changing the environment that you spend time in, whether that is your home, your office, wherever you're spending a lot of time that you know that you've used, you know that you've thought about using. Start making slight changes to those environments so that your brain will start making slight changes to the way that it processes things and the way that it thinks. Again, I am a firm believer that within a 2-week, sometimes 4-week time frame, your body can detox from the substances that you have put into it, as long as you don't consistently put them in. But I'm also a firm believer that our brain needs to change too. Our thoughts need to change. The way that we conduct ourselves needs to change. The way that we think needs to change. And part of changing the way that you think is by engaging your senses. Our visual senses is a very big one. Line of sight, if you're walking into the home and you see a stain that you can remember where that came from, remove the stain. If you have a photo of you and a couple friends that, maybe at the time when you guys took the photo, you guys were doing good, But now it's a bad trigger, a bad memory for you. Take that photo down, replace it with another photo that will give you some encouragement. These little slight changes, guys, is what will allow you to develop a slightly different thought pattern, which hopefully will give you a slight edge on your recovery. Again, I'm not here to do recovery for you. I'm not here to tell you exactly how to do it. That's not my job, not my goal whatsoever. But I do want to provide guidance and some tools and tricks that have helped me along the way, so that maybe they help you out, so that you don't have to take the time that I had to take to learn these. Stumble in the places that I had to stumble. I'm tired of seeing people fail with their recovery. I'm tired of seeing people relapse because of certain small things that can be controlled. You know, I understand relapse is part of the recovery process. I totally get that. But again, guys, if we could just go ahead and start changing 1, 2, 3 things in our lives that propel our recovery a lot further, that's the benefit that I'm looking for. That's the guidance that I want to give you guys, because you're the end of the day, you're the hero of your story. You're the one that makes the outcome. Is it something that somebody's going to want to watch? Is it a story that, you know, is going to have that happy ending? Or is it going to be the story that we see all too often and I'm tired of seeing? You know, the rest in peace posts, the overdose rate going higher. Sick of that, guys. So I'm hoping that by these tools and tips and tricks that I'm sharing, it gives you a little bit of guidance into your recovery. At the end of the day, guys, I'm not claiming to be perfect. I'm not claiming to have all the answers. But I do know that I have no halo.